side of the roadway. That motorcycle traveled over an embankment and then overturned multiple times. Officials confirmed that Paytas died as a result of force trauma to the head and chest. There were no other vehicles involved in the crash. New Sewickley Township Police continue to investigate the cause of the crash. A part of Flaherty Run Road in Moon Township reopened to traffic after an announcement by PennDOT on Friday. A section of Flaherty Run Road between Broadhead Road and Stoops Ferry Road were closed on July 7th because of safety reasons, and the paving buckled on sections of it during the recent high heat. Traffic was detoured when the closure occurred. The Beaver Valley Mall is having an event called Celebrate America 250 this Saturday, July 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The activities for this event include face painting, games, raffles, and giveaways. The schedule of special events throughout Celebrate America 250 at the mall in Monaca are a patriotic pet contest and the Gathering Market Craft Show starting at 10 a.m., an obstacle bounce course starting at 11 a.m., and both DJ entertainment and a life flight helicopter visit starting at noon. You can also honor a patriot of your choice by either writing a special message or writing the name of an active duty service member, veteran, or a first responder on a commemorative star. Schwabel Baking Company is planning to shut down operations after 120 years in business, but the brand based in Youngstown, Ohio could have a potential buyer. Members of the Teamsters Union recently filed a suit and said that the closure of Schwabel's violated collective bargaining agreements. An order that was issued by U.S. District Judge Donald Nugent that was dated on July 7th after a telephone status hearing mentioned a potential buyer for the company, but it was not named. Nugent ordered another telephone status conference for this morning with Judge David Ruiz, who is assigned to this case. Schwabel has announced its closure last month and cited rising costs as well as aging manufacturing equipment and facilities, adding that it had been unable to find a buyer. And the House passed a bill called the Sunshine Protection Act yesterday that would make daylight saving time permanent. It passed by a vote of 308 to 117. Proponents argue the bill would provide more daylight during the times that Americans are most active. Daylight saving time is that period between spring and fall when clocks in most of the United States are set 1 hour ahead of standard time. States could opt out if their respective legislatures do so before the bill's enactment. The Senate would also have to pass the bill before it could become law, but it's unclear if it will do so. This newscast is being brought to you by the J&J Spratt Funeral Home located on 3rd Avenue in New Brighton. Their family has been serving the Beaver County community for generations.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today it'll be mostly sunny, hot, and very humid with highs in the mid-90s and overnight lows dropping to 72. And tomorrow we'll see some patchy smoke in the early morning. Otherwise, expect lots of sunshine with highs of 91 and lows of 65. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Wednesday, July 15th of 2026 at 4 minutes after 9, we've got a temperature of 79 degrees with fair skies out there currently in Beaver County. And that's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
This is a test of the emergency alert system originating from WBVP. The broadcasters and cable operators of your area, in voluntary cooperation with the Federal Communications Commission and other agencies, have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. This is only a test. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have been given emergency information or instructions. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
Scott Tady here. I know the forecast calls for temperatures of 92 today, but it's going to feel a little bit like Christmas in here right now. Christmas in July. We are joined by Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy. Good to see you, Dale.
Hey, happy to be here, Scott.
How you feeling? Looking good?
Good. Nice and air conditioning here. So, yeah, glad we're not having the show outside today.
Oh, be none of that. Today, yeah. You got to find shade. And you've actually, first thing I saw you pull out of your bag of tricks was a Santa Claus. And I'm like, what are we doing today?
I decided to make this a Christmas in July show today. So it's not actually today is the day, but it is July, and a lot of people celebrate Christmas in July. So I went into my props and pulled out my my little Santa for a Christmas in July show today.
You've got your stability ball. You've got some stretching devices. What I've been telling people all morning, you listen to Dale, you find out ways to feel better, to stay healthy. And we appreciate you coming in from MRS Physical Therapy every month to give us that practical wisdom and that scientific experience you've got.
Yeah, so in addition to doing the Christmas in July show today, we're going to talk about the hottest is the key word, the hottest selling items in some of our hottest programs at MRS Physical Therapy. Right. So are you gathering the theme I've got here today, Scott? You know, I listen to the forecast. I'm like, all right, we're gonna talk about the hottest stuff today, and we're also going to try to cool everybody down by thinking about Christmas in July, right? So think about cooler weather coming. Some people love the heat. I mean, I got some patients that are like, oh, I love this. I love the heat. I don't mind the heat. I'd rather it be hot than freezing cold, to be honest. But today's going to be pretty darn hot, so you got to be careful out there. If you're exercising or running, boy, if you're a walker or a runner, I hope you already did your walk or run for today. Usually that's best done in the morning before the heat of the day comes out, because when that heat index really rises, start to get into danger zones for people, whether you're young or old. If you're older, you're really in a danger zone if you try to run out in this heat, or even take walks, walking your dog, things like that. That should be done early morning, late evening when that heat index is coming down. But even younger individuals, they got to be careful too. People just try to go out and muscle through it and be like, oh, I'll be fine. And even if you're hydrating well, this heat index can really knock you on your britches pretty quickly. So you got to be really careful and cautious. Pay attention to the forecast, pay attention to the heat index, how hot it's going to be, because even when you're well hydrated, you can run into dangerous situations pretty quick. So, just an advisement for all our listeners out there, just be careful if you're going out and exercising today outside.
Even something as simple as gardening, and I know you're a gardener, and they recommend gardening earlier in the day or the twilight. It's better for the plants as well, but it's definitely better for you.
If you're watering, you should get it in the morning before the heat of the day, in the evening. I actually, for those that have listened to my show the last couple months, I transitioned, as I've talked about my older individuals transitioning. I am heading into that category as an older individual. I transitioned to my 20-foot by 40-foot garden to raised garden beds this year, and they're going pretty well. The only thing you have to really be on top of is watering them. The weeding's super easy now. I don't have to lean over. I don't have to worry about back pain, weeding anymore. The weed's getting out of control because you have such a large space you're trying to weed. That's all gone. I've got the raised garden beds. It's super easy to weed. I have them at waist level, so I'm not bending over. And, the only thing you have to keep on top of is watering, and I have my water hose right there. So just, morning or evening, I just get out and water and keep things going. So I got some nice tomatoes coming in. My garlic's looking good. My basil looks great. My onions did well. I have some zucchini I threw in there. So I just have 3 raised garden beds all at waist level, and it's been really nice and convenient. So I'm kind of taking my own advice that I've preached about for years to the older individuals. The raised garden beds, I highly recommend them as the way to go. If you like to garden and you don't want to lose that opportunity, because, as your body ages, it's harder to get up and down from the floor, from the ground. When you're in a garden, there's nothing to push up from to get up. So it can be challenging for your balance, and it could be a fall risk for some people. And for a lot of people too, just hunching over like that, or being down on the ground for hours at a time when you have to weed such a large space, it can really wear and tear in your back. And I've had back injuries from it in the past because I spent hours and hours weeding my garden, every week. And that's why this year I'm like, this is the year it's time to make a transition. And it's hard for people. Transitions can be tough as we age. And there's a lot of transitions that are tough as we age. This was not a really hard transition for me. It was just using something different and getting the same outcome. I'm still gardening. I had to, pick and choose which plants and which vegetables I'm going to grow. I don't have watermelons growing anymore because you can't really do that in a raised garden bed. So I had to adapt a little bit, but it's been great. So, the raised garden beds, for those that are out there, they're gardeners, and they're thinking about that transition. I highly recommend it. And honestly, they weren't that expensive. I thought, oh man, I'm going to be spending a lot of money on these. Actually, I found a guy in Beaver that does custom made ones. I found him on Facebook. He custom makes them for the size, the height you want. So, maybe you're a taller, individual or a short individual. individual, he'll custom make them to whatever height you want that's good for your own personal body mechanics. Or honestly, just go to like some of the box stores and they have them for relatively cheap as well. So it really wasn't that expensive. Getting the dirt in there and, all that stuff. That was fine. So you just have to keep on top of watering is the biggest deal with the raised garden beds. But it's been a great summer for me as far as that goes. It's been enabled me to continue to garden and something I enjoy doing. I didn't have to just give it up because, my back was bothering me and I couldn't weed anymore kind of thing, I've got 4 kids, but they're not weeding the garden, So I know I'm going to be doing it myself. So I had to adapt what I'm going to do myself. So that's worked out pretty well.
Even though it is hot, and people joke about, I'm just going to stay in the air conditioning, but we do tend to do more this time of year. There's picnics, there's outdoor concerts, there's reasons to be out there. Oh, I need to wash my car. Why don't I do that? So I'm sure as a physical therapist, you see people coming in and they're getting twinges, they're getting cramps, or they're finding out that being active this time of year, comes with some consequence too.
Yeah, I mean, all the time you're active, there's going to be consequences to it, and that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today with all these different things. So not only is it Christmas in July, I'm going to talk about the hottest selling items. So if you do want to purchase something for Christmas in July for loved ones, these are really relatively inexpensive little gifts you can give for staying active during the summer months. So Scott, I am going to have you demo a lot of this for us today.
All right.
Scott's favorite thing is getting on Facebook. And hey, if you're just listening online, remember, check in Facebook Live because you're going to see Scott demonstrating some of this stuff.
We have matching blue shirts today, too.
How about that? Yeah. I should have worn my red and green. But you know how my ideas come to me. I'm like, about a half hour before the show, I'm like, oh, this is a Christmas in July show. If I thought about it last night, I would have worn my green shirt. But I did pull out my Santa Claus prop, so I at least have that going for me today for the Christmas in July show. But yeah, we're going to talk about our hottest selling items at MRS Physical Therapy. And why I find this valuable, this show today, we talk about the hottest items, is because they're relatively inexpensive things that you can get, and we sell everything I'm going to show you today. We sell in my clinic at MRS, and they're really inexpensive. They're really good price points, and I price my stuff to beat Amazon. I mean, Amazon's not going to beat me with my prices and my supplies, and you know that you're getting the best quality stuff, and if you come to me to get it, that these are things that are tried and true. These are things I actually use in my clinic. I use them myself. My family members use them, and I advise my patients. If I'm giving you an exercise program, and if you've come to me for MRS Physical Therapy, your first day of physical therapy is going to include an exercise program. And we have this really cool brand new app that we use called Movement RX. And when you download that on your phone, it shows you a video, about a 10-second video of each exercise. So it's really self-explanatory. So there's no guessing. In the past we use, stick figures written on a piece of paper and like, oh, this is what your exercise should be. Then patients will get home like, I have no idea what this is supposed to. Well, we took that away. We have this Movement RX app where you see a great video. We've been using the app for about 3 months now. Everyone's been loving the app because it really is explanatory for how the exercise should be. And then I can download any additional exercise I want to on the app for you. So say you came in for your evaluation and I put all the exercises. I tell people that your exercises live on the app now, the exercises you'll find in the app, and they go through them. And if I have to modify something, I can do it, at home. I can just modify something. I can take something away. I can add it in, and then I'll just shoot you text messages and say, hey, check out the new exercise I added. I think these will help you based on the change of your health or what's different now. So it's been a great opportunity for us to really connect and communicate with our patients. And that's the biggest thing for MRS Physical Therapy. That communication is key. That relationship is key. You really have to have that one-on-one relationship where, I've always been proud of MRS Physical Therapy and how we treat our patients, that we give them that individualized care. We take care of them. We don't have, 1,000 people that we're working with. Ironically, we were watching the movie Jerry Maguire last night, classic movie, but it just reminded me of that, where Jerry Maguire went from thinking he had to have, 1,000 clients to just having one client, right? But he gave that one-on-one attention that really made a difference. That's what we do at MRS Physical Therapy. We give that individualized attention when you're in the clinic, so you know how to do the exercises. When you're not in the clinic, we have a text messaging system. You can text message me any day of the week, any time of the day, and I'll get back to you saying, I hear, you're having a little increased pain. Let's try this. Try heat, try ice, try rest, try this different exercise, whatever that might be. I'm giving you virtual communication through that text messaging. Then I can also, through this new app, I can send send you an exercise and say, hey, try this exercise instead of waiting for the next visit to come in. Sometimes, something's bothering you on a Friday night and like, oh man, I don't have physical therapy until Monday or Tuesday. I got to wait the whole weekend through this. Well, you don't have to do that with MRS. We can take, I'll respond on the weekends to you and give you new exercises on the weekend. So, we are really at your call for helping you out with whatever needs you have, whatever time of day it is. We really value that connection. And that connection, with new technology, there's really no reason why you can't have a regular connection on a daily basis, whether that's text messaging me and me responding to that on your health, or giving you new exercise through the new app that we're using. It's really been a great benefit for MRS Physical Therapy and our offices to help out our patients in the community.
In honor of Jerry Maguire, show me the products, Dale. Show me some of the things you brought here.
All right,
I'm ready to demonstrate.
Yeah. We're going to go through some different products, and some I'll just be demonstrating here, Scott, but then I'll also I'll be calling you over to show some things as well. So we'll start out with the ones that, when you're ready to come over, you can sit right here and I'll demonstrate. But we will have some products that we'll have to change the angle of the camera. Maybe after the break, I'll set some stuff up on the door over there because there's some stuff over there. But so the first product, and I'll kind of go, I kind of did like a top 10 product as far as, what's the most common one. So, this is just a simple putty. Remember Silly Putty, Scott?
I do.
I love Silly Putty.
You press it on the comics.
Silly Putty was one of the favorite things I got in my stocking for Christmas. So speaking of Christmas in July, I always got Silly Putty. I loved Silly Putty. This product, this putty, it's not Silly Putty, but it reminds me of it because it has that same kind of texture to it, the same kind of feel to it. It's very malleable. You can move it around. I don't push this on the comics, although that was fun with Silly Putty because I don't want to get all the ink in my putty that I'm using with my patients. I'm not sure. Was that good for us or bad for us?
Probably not good now that I think about it.
It probably wasn't good, but that was the 60s and 70s. What did we know back then about, what was going into our bodies through our skin, putting ink through our skin with Silly Putty, who knows? But anyway, this is, a lot of people don't realize that how many different programs that we do at MRS Physical Therapy. Keep in mind, we have 2 clinics, MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater, which is right in Bridgewater, right in the heart of Bridgewater, inside of Stone Point Landing, which is the old Keystone Bread Building. A lot of Beaver County people know it as the old Keystone Bread Building.
I was talked to patients about for lunch yesterday. Frank G's.
Yeah, Frank G's is right there in the same building. We're right down the hall from Frank G's. So you come for therapy, then you can go there for lunch or dinner or whatever. And then our other office is in Cranberry Township on Route 19, right next to North Park Lounge. Even though they've sold to Sensi's, it's still called North Park Lounge on the signs anyway. So either offices have all these products for sale, by the way. And all of our offices also have the programs that we offer. A lot of people don't realize that people think about physical therapy. They're like, you work on backs and hips, and they might know about shoulders, but we work on elbows and hands as well. So that's what the putty is for. The putty is for working on patients that are having issues with their hands, whether they're recovering from a finger fracture or a dislocation, or for some reason they've lost strength in their hand. The putty is to help out with that. So we do things like working on the grip with the fingers in the putty, squeezing it. We roll it on the table, working like that. We do different things with pinching the putty with each individual finger. So you're working on the strength of your thumb muscles, your individual finger muscles, and you can be pinching from the pads of your fingers. You can be pinching from the tips of your fingers, and this all works different muscle groups. So MRS Physical Therapy does hand therapy in addition to all the other therapies that you might think about. So if you're recovering from a hand surgery, had a hand injury of some sort, and carpal tunnel or whatever it might be, putty is one of those things that you might work with. So when you're doing a home program, it's great to have some of these things at home. So you're not just doing it when you're in therapy, but you can do it at home as well. So we don't make people buy these products, but we have them available to them if they want to buy it. So for example, if you want to buy a thing of putty, this little thing of putty is only $4. So very inexpensive. There's different colors, and the different colors are different levels of resistances. So I brought the yellow, which is the easiest one. It's the lowest level of resistance that we carry. We also have green and red and blue, different colors. And as you change the colors, it actually increases levels of resistance. Just like you'll see with like the TheraBand that I'm going to bring out later. The different colors are different levels of resistances. So keep in mind, MRS Physical Therapy does hand therapy. I have a patient right now that broke her elbow and messed up her shoulder riding a bike, and we're seeing her post surgery to get that elbow range of motion and shoulder range of motion back. But guess what? She has some hand swelling as well because of the arm being in a sling, being in a dependent position, not using that hand as much because she was immobilized for so long. So we got to do hand therapy for her to get that hand function back. So maybe it's a secondary effect of your hand that's been involved because of an elbow or shoulder injury, and we have to work on that grip strength, getting that back. So the putty's good for that too. We have patients that have neck injuries or post surgery from their neck, and you may or may not know, but your neck, the nerves there, they're the ones that control your hands, right? So if you have something that happens at your neck, you can have tingling, numbness, or actually loss of strength in your hand. And I do grip strength testing to see if there's any strength losses. So just a neck injury can cause hand injuries as well as hand issues as well as a secondary thing. So putty can be used for that. So only $4 if you want to work on your putty and your hand exercise and strengthen at home. That's our putty. So I'll set that aside there. The next thing is hot and cold packs. So these are really nice. I have two different sizes. The one that I have here is for the cervical or shoulder. It's a longer, thinner one. And then I brought a sample here. Scott, I want you to come over here, okay? Yep. So I took this rectangular one that we sell, and these are inexpensive. These are only $16. So what's a cold pack good for? After if you've had an injury and you need to ice your knee or your shoulder, let's see, what time is it here? It's 9:22. I took this out of the freezer about an hour ago, and I'm going to put it on your shoulder. Still cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So this has been out, and this is my car for the 20-minute drive over in the hot car. So this actually maintains its cold really well. But the great thing about these cold packs, that's a cold pack hot pack, you can use it for cold or heat. So if your physical therapy, if I tell you, you should apply heat, then you just throw this in the microwave for a minute or two, and this warms up and gets hot, and then you're putting heat on your joint, on your body. If I say no, you need cold now, then I'm gonna have you throw this in the freezer, and after an hour or two, this is gonna get super cold, and then you're gonna put it on your skin. So just put it on your forearm.
Oh, that's
there.
cold. That's ice cold.
This has maintained its cold really well. It's been out of the freezer for an hour, and it's still it's not freezing cold where it's gonna ice his arm up, but you can definitely feel it. It's a cold temperature. It's a therapeutic cold temperature, and it's been out for an hour already, and that includes riding in a hot car for 20 minutes. So
now, how do you heat it? If you use it as a heating pad, what's the trick?
So for heating, you throw it in the microwave for about a minute or two. So the microwave will safely heat this up. These are cold and hot packs, and they can be used for either. There's different sizes we have. They're only $16. The one size is good for draping over a shoulder or looping around your neck, and this is a good one for your hip, your knee, your back. Just throw it on there. Obviously, you can do it sitting, or lying down, or whatever you want. So that's our heat cold option that we have for you.
Is there a general rule for when you use heat and when you use cool?
Yes, absolutely. So let me get a drink for 1 second. So you want to use ice or cold for an acute injury, usually 24 to 48 hours within the injury. And then after that time, I'll sometimes have my patients go between heat and cold, and then chronically, usually heat's better. Now, it depends on the injury and the diagnosis too. So if you have an injury if you have a diagnosis that we want to increase the blood flow to the area, then we'll use heat, because heat will increase the blood flow to that area. It helps to decrease pain, helps to relax the patient. It's good prior to starting an exercise. Ice is good at the end of the day or after an exercise to cool the joint or the muscles down, whatever you're trying to cool down. So heat to increase the blood flow, usually as a warm-up, and ice to cool things down, to decrease any inflammation at the end of an exercise or activity. So
if it's one of those days I've just been walking around a lot, I'm hiking, I'm downtown in the city or something like that. At the end of the day, I'm sore. You recommend the cold then?
Yeah, the cold's the great thing to do at the end of the day for you. Okay, and again, the ice packs are only $16, pretty inexpensive. So the next thing we're going to look at is the lumbar roll. So the lumbar roll, I love these. I use this every day. This is at my workstation. Okay, I'm obviously up and down, but when I'm sitting doing my documentation at my computer, I use a lumbar roll, and this is also good if you're going on long drives or long commutes or an airplane ride. And this what it does just goes behind your back. So you just slide it behind your back on your chair into your low back, and it gives you a little bit of support. Now watch. So I don't have a lumbar roll now, and you see how I'm sitting, right? I wasn't even thinking about this till I'm talking about it right now. I put the mic where it should be for how I'm sitting, okay? Watch what happens. Okay, I put the lumbar roll back behind me.
You're higher up.
How much higher did I get? A couple inches.
Yeah, easy.
Holy cow, Scott. I was slouched about 3 inches down, right? Not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And I'm a physical therapist. I'm talking to people about physical therapy without even realizing it. I'm just, I'm thinking about where I'm talking in the mic, and I'm talking, I'm just all of a sudden I'm like, and that's why I use a lumbar roll every day at work. I have one in my chair because it gives me that external cue to stay sitting upright when I'm documenting at the computer, at my workstation. It's great for people that have desk jobs and they're sitting at the computer all day. It just gives you that extra cue to stay sitting up tall. Okay?
Can you drive with those? Because now
you can drive with it too. And you'll
Okay.
feel it. If you start to slouch down into it, you feel a little bit of resistance, and that gives you a little, what we call biofeedback, that cue like, oh, I was slouching, I need to sit up tall. It's not hard, it's not rigid, it's soft, it's comfortable, but it gives you a little bit of feedback. So instead of sitting down like this, like I was at the first half of the show, I'm like, oh, I mean, that's maybe even 4 inches up taller than I was, right? So that's a big deal. That's a big difference. And the reason why it's a big difference is because when you slouch and you're sitting, it puts a lot of extra stress and strain on your low back, okay? Yeah. You lose your lumbar lordosis when you're sitting in a slouched position. It helps to maintain that normal curvature of their spine, that normal lumbar lordosis, and gets you sitting up taller. Gives you a little bit of biofeedback, a little external support. It's one of my favorite things. I use this one every day. So people with low back pain or people that sit for their job, this is a great thing to have on their low back. And I'm going to keep it in here because I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I was slouched that whole time, not realizing it. So that's going to keep me my posture good for the rest of the show here. That
kind of looks like a headrest. It's easy to portable thing that you're talking about.
Easy portable thing. They come with straps. You can strap around the chair so they stay in place so they don't roll off your chair. And they're only $15. So it's a very reasonable piece of equipment that you can buy. We sell them at MRS, obviously, that help work on your posture and keep your posture good throughout the course of your day.
Okay, tell you what, we're going to have Noah coming in at 9:30. I'm going to do a quick break right now. We'll be back with more from Dale Reckless giving us tips on how to be fit from MRS Physical Therapy. Remember way back when you were young and the bus ride to and from school set the tone for what made your day special? School buses and vans have had a special place in the Fry family for 3 generations. At Fry Transportation, the student transportation industry is embraced as a tradition, privilege, and lifestyle. From the morning laughs on the way to school to the talk about the day on the way home. Memories you won't forget, just like the vintage football games aired each week on Beaver County Radio. Fry Transportation, caring for your children as they care for their own.
One of the greatest honors a person can receive is to be gathered with their people at the time of their passing. Even biblical authors, when they wanted to explain what it meant to have lived a great, prosperous, and meaningful life, spoke of the individual as having lived a long time and being gathered with friends and relatives near as they closed out their twilight years. Being gathered together with loved ones is something that the J&J Spratt Funeral Home takes very seriously as well. The comfort both given and received cannot be underestimated. J&J Spratt Funeral Home also knows that the honor shown to a loved one at their time of need in this manner is still the right thing to do today. J&J Spratt Funeral Home has been gathering together with area families for 4 generations and looks forward to honoring future residents deserving of being gathered together with friends and family. Click jjsprattfh.com.
At Friendly Federal Credit Union, we've always said that it's almost like a family reunion when you stop in, and now we're going to prove it. This is Cindy Hiladio with a special invitation for you. Our annual luncheon meeting is happening Saturday, September 26th at the Fez, and as a member of our family, you're invited. If we haven't adopted you yet as one of our own, what are you waiting for? Make plans to gather together over lunch with friends and family at the annual meeting on September 26th at the Fez. While at the event, you'll get a generous helping of both delicious menu items and valuable information on how we serve our members. Tickets and more information are available by visiting Friendly Federal Credit Union, the place that makes more sense for you. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Friendly Federal Credit Union.
County Radio's news source. 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. Here's Noah Haswell.
Good morning on this Wednesday, July the 15th of 2026. A heat advisory will go into effect from 12 noon today to 8 p.m. tonight. We will have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. Beaver County Coroner David J. Gabauer has now identified the person that was killed in a motorcycle crash in New Swickley Township on Monday. 65-year-old John Paytis died at the scene of a crash which occurred at the 500 block of Fazell Road at approximately 5:30 p.m. According to a release from New Swickley Township Police Chief Gregory Carney, the preliminary investigation indicates that a motorcycle was traveling north on Fazell Road and left the east side of the roadway. That motorcycle traveled over an embankment and then overturned multiple times. Officials confirmed that Paytis died as a result of force trauma to the head and chest. There were no other vehicles involved in the crash. New Swickley Township Police continue to investigate the cause of the crash. A police officer was sworn in on Monday to become a new member of the Hopewell Township Police Department. During the Hopewell Township Board of Commissioners meeting that night, Officer Jonathan Brady was officially sworn in by Magisterial District Judge Felicia Santillan. Brady will serve and protect his local community in his new position. The former business manager of a local nonprofit organization pleaded guilty to bank fraud in federal court yesterday. According to information shared by the Department of Justice, 63-year-old Judith A. Hetzel of Swickley pleaded guilty to 7 counts of bank fraud. Hetzel served as the business manager for an organization which offered guardianship in the western Pennsylvania area from November of 2023 to February of 2025. Police confirmed that as the business manager, Hetzel had access to bank accounts that belonged to people who were using the nonprofit's fiduciary services. She was accused of fraudulently drafting checks against those bank accounts. The name of the nonprofit has not been released by prosecutors, and they did not say exactly how much money Hetzel received from this situation. Hetzel's sentencing is scheduled for October 13th, and she faces a maximum sentence of up to 30 years in jail, a fine of up to $1 million, or both. And Pittsburgh Penguins president of hockey operations and general manager Kyle Dubas announced yesterday that the Penguins have signed forward Nick Robertson to a 2-year contract. The average annual value of this deal is $3.25 million for the 24-year-old Robertson. The Penguins acquired Robertson from the Toronto Maple Leafs on July 1st in exchange for a 2028 fourth-round NHL draft pick. Robertson has played his last 6 NHL seasons with the Maple Leafs. He recorded career highs with 16 goals, 16 assists, and 32 points in 78 games with the Maple Leafs last season.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
Today it'll be mostly sunny, hot, and very humid with highs in the mid-90s and overnight lows dropping to 72. And tomorrow we'll see some patchy smoke in the early morning. Otherwise, expect lots of sunshine with highs of 91 and lows of 65. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
On this Wednesday, July the 15th of 2026 at 34 minutes after 9, we've got a temperature of 80 degrees with fair skies out there currently in Beaver County. And that's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Put freedom in your future. Freedom United Federal Credit Union in Rochester.
Scott Teddy here, joined by Dale Reckless from MRS Physical Therapy with offices in Bridgewater and Cranberry Township. We're going to go out to the phone lines. A caller has a question for you, Dale. Good morning.
Great.
You're on the radio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you know anything about leukoderma? If I could use hot or cold?
Leukoderma, you mean lymphedema or what's leukoderma?
Leukoderma, they told me.
What is that for? Is that for...
I have a lot of swelling in my legs.
Yeah, that's called...
And
that's called lymphedema.
Lymphedema.
Yeah, lymphedema. You were very close. It's lymphedema. So we actually do have a lymphedema program. So lymphedema is your lymph nodes are not pushing the fluid back into your system the way they're supposed to. And it can come from different things. Sometimes people that have had surgery or radiation can cause lymphedema. And we actually do have a program. The number one thing you want to do for lymphedema is wrapping, because have you been through a lymphedema program before?
Yeah, I have to do the wrap
You do the
and
wrapping.
the stockings.
Okay. So that's the number one thing to help out lymphedema is the wrapping, the stockings. Usually when you first start a lymphedema program, you do the wrapping, you learn how to wrap yourself. Once the volume or the size of your limb has gotten to a manageable size, then we'll order stockings for you that will maintain that lymphedema size, so you don't have to continue wrapping for the rest of your life. Usually the wrapping is to get to that lymphedema to a manageable size, and then you use stockings to put over that to manage the lymphedema. Heat and cold is really not indicated for lymphedema as far as being beneficial, because lymphedema is not like you injured a joint that you swell. Like if you sprain your ankle, then that swells up because there's an inflammatory effect that happens after you injure your ankle. So things like heat and ice will help that out, but heat and ice are not indicated, meaning it's not going to help out your lymphedema. Really the wrapping and exercise is the best thing to do for the lymphedema. So the wrapping helps to manage the size. The exercise, like doing ankle pumps and knee extensions and glute sets and bridging, those are all exercises we do to help out with the lymphedema as well.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
They're so swollen that I didn't know what to do with them anymore.
Yeah, if
And
you'd
then
like,
when I called the therapist, she told me that this kind of weather is really bad for that. And it
Yeah.
makes you swell more.
that's true. Weather can impact as well. Yeah. So if you have a regular therapist that you're working with, it might be time to have them, go down and see them, have them take a look, redo the measurements, because they have all your previous measurements of what, with lymphedema, we do a lot of circumferential measurements with a measuring tape to see what the size of your limbs are. And so they can kind of give you an apples to apples comparison of your previous measurements to what they are now to see if, maybe you need to, do a new wrapping program or get new stockings, because stockings were measured for you to how you were at the time when you were in the program. Maybe it's time to get new stockings as well, because they have a shelf life as well as far as how long they last. So I would reach out to your current therapist and ask them to remeasure you. And of course, you could always come see us at MRS Physical Therapy. We'd be happy to take a look at you as well.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Of course, anytime.
Appreciate
We appreciate you calling. You take care.
Yep.
Joined by Dale Reckless, MRS Physical Therapy, and we got some more demonstrations of some products you brought in for this Christmas in July, giving people ideas on things that they can buy at MRS Physical.
So we're just going to adjust the camera now, Scott, because we're going to use this door over here for the next demonstration. So there's two things I'm going to demonstrate using the door. The one is pulleys, and this pulley set is only $8. I gave people that have shoulder surgeries or shoulder injuries pulleys all the time. It's really important for a part of their home exercise program, and I'll show you how it helps using your good arm to help the bad arm with pulleys. Then, again, those are only $8. Then we're going to look at show you how to use TheraBand, and TheraBands can be used at the door as well, so I might as well demonstrate that while we're at the door as well. And the TheraBands, I just have one as a demo model, but we actually sell them in a 5-pack. So there's 5 different TheraBands in this pack, and this whole pack is only $10. So you're really only spending $2 a band, but the pack, it comes with 5 different bands, and each different color of the band is a different level of resistance. So we're going to use orange today, which is a medium resistance, and there's one lighter, and there's actually 3 heavier ones in here, depending on what your abilities are. So when you come to MRS Physical Therapy and we give you exercises with TheraBand, the purpose of it is to improve your strength using resistance bands. And we use these for knee exercises, hip exercises, shoulder. We use it for just most joints in the body as a type of resistance to help out strengthen, work on posture and things like that. So you got the camera moved over there, Scott?
Yes.
So I'm going to move over there.
Number 4 as well will be ready for you right there.
Okay. Is this mic on?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to loop this pulley over top of the door, and I'm going to show you how you can just use your simple door at home to loop this and how it stays in place. Go ahead and take a seat there, Scott. Grab this and keep squared off this. Yeah, that's fine. You can face the camera. Okay, so we looped that pulley over the door, and it stays in place. It's not going to go anywhere because there's a little knob on the other side of the piece of fabric there that's stuck on the other side of the door. So it doesn't hurt your door. It doesn't hurt your door frame. It comes on and off. It's nothing permanent. So it's something very easy. You don't have to worry about, home modifications or anything like that for a pulley system. Just loops over a door that closes. And now Scott's going to use his right arm to help his left arm, just kind of pulling up and down like that. So say, for example, Scott had a bad left shoulder. His right shoulder is good. So his right arm is now helping, we call it active assist, to get that range of motion that he needs in an arm. So someone that's post-surgical, doesn't have the range of motion, maybe they have some rotator cuff issues and they've lost range of motion in that shoulder. This is a good, easy way to work on that range of motion at home. So it's a really simple pulley system. It's only $8. It's super cheap and inexpensive. We do sell this in both of our offices at MRS Physical Therapy.
It generally feels good to do this.
Yeah, so it's just getting some range of motion in those shoulders, get a little bit of flexibility, a little stretching out there. Then the other thing I'm going to show you, I'll show you right at the door as well, because we use TheraBands, and in our clinic, we've got stuff connected to the walls, eye hooks and things like that connect the TheraBand, but people don't want to be drilling holes in their walls at home to do their exercises, especially if they're only going to need it for 2 months of rehab, right? You don't want these holes in your wall, then you have to drywall and paint and fix everything up, and we want to make sure you don't have to do any modifications at your home to do the exercises and be compliant with the exercises. So all we have you do is just loop this over a door handle or something like that. So I'm going to demonstrate this with Scott now. So you're going to stand right here and just pull these back like that.
You just wrapped it basically around the door handle.
Yeah, so I just wrapped the TheraBand around the door handle. He's just going to pull his elbows back, up both at the same time. Yep, like row your boat. There you go. Right. Okay, and a little slower. Pull straight back, and hold. 2, 3, and then relax. 2, 3, and pull. Hold. 2, 3, and relax, okay? So this is an exercise we use to strengthen people's upper back, lower cervical muscles, okay? It's a rowing exercise, a rowing activity, works on the rhomboids, the scapular muscles, things like that. So again, very simple. We're not modifying, we're not putting eye hooks in your walls, just putting around the door handle.
What is this product made out of?
It's a kind of a rubberized latex. We do sell them that are latex free as well. There are people that have latex allergies, but yeah, it's a stretchy gum band. If we want to use the Pittsburgh term, right? It's a stretchy gum band that allows you to pull back and strengthen your arm muscles. But again, just by changing Scott's position, we change what muscle groups he's using. So I'm going to show him a different one here. Yep, stay facing the camera. Grab this with both your hands. Actually, just grab just one hand like that. Elbow by your side, and then you're going to pull it into your stomach. So now I have Scott, I just changed his position in front of the door. So now he's just pulling it at a different angle. If you're not watching, you're just listening at home so you understand. He's pulling that hand into his stomach. So now he's working on his rotator cuff muscles. And now grab it with your right hand, not your left hand, just your right hand. Elbow here and then pull out. Okay. Then I had him switch hands, and now he's pulling the hand out away from his body. And this is working on a different muscle group of his rotator cuff. So these are great exercises if you have a rotator cuff injury. We have a great shoulder rotator cuff program at MRS Physical Therapy to work on. And these exercises, like I said, you can do these at home with these 2 simple pieces of equipment.
What's this cost?
So a pack of TheraBand is $10. So you get all 5 different levels of resistances for $10. Again, I beat Amazon prices. You're going to get your best price, and we're right down the street from you, so you can just come down and pick it up at MRS Physical Therapy. Okay. All right, so moving right along here. Let's do our TENS unit next, Scott. So if you want to come over, and I'm going to do a couple things with you sitting by my side next. I got to keep my eye on the time here. I got so much stuff to talk about. I don't want to go over my hour.
We can cut into the news.
So the next thing we have is a TENS unit. And so we use electrical stimulation very often in our clinic. So people come in for their warm-ups. They get heat and stim. Helps to relax the muscles. Like I said in the beginning of the show, helps to increase the blood flow. And then people are like, oh, what can I do at home? I said, well, we actually sell these TENS units. People go online and buy these, but I don't know. The stuff online, I hesitate because a lot of it's junk out there. It doesn't work. It doesn't last long. It's not very effective. Doesn't give the intensity. But this is a brand new one that I just pulled out here. Comes with a set of stim pads, which is what connects you. Has the unit here, which is just battery operated. It comes with a 9-volt battery and comes with the connectors here. So I'm not going to use the one that's brand new, but one that we have a demo model for Scott. And I'm going to hook Scott up so he can tell you what it feels like. So we use this to decrease pain. So it helps to decrease pain and decrease inflammation, the one that we have in the clinic. Let's hook up your arm here. So just give me your forearm here. Let's go right here. The TENS units really are more just for pain modification to help decrease pain. The ones we use in the clinic, they're called interferential stim. They operate with a different current a little bit, so they actually decrease inflammation in addition to decreasing pain. And it's a much better unit for acutely working on something. But to have something at home, this is a big deal. If you have like a little bit of low back pain or twinge, or your elbows bothering you, your ankles bothering you, little simple home unit. It just has a little 9-volt battery in the back of it. Has different adjustments that you can make, but I'll adjust those for the patient and tell them, you don't really need to play with that. All you need to do is turn it on and turn it off. So I'm going to turn it on now, Scott. And as I turn it on slowly, okay, I'm going to have you tell me when you feel any kind of like a pulse, like a pins and needles kind of sensation. And you tell me when you start to feel that.
Okay. Oh, right now. Yep,
okay.
There it is. Oh, yeah.
So I'm only on about a 3.5, and it goes to 8. Just so you know, I'm at a very low level. I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. Tell me to stop. Tell me when to stop when it feels like strong to you. Like, oh, please don't go anymore. That's strong.
Right there. Right there.
And that went from a 3.5 to a 4, which I'm actually getting a little bit of a muscle contraction. And if I was working on decreasing pain, I wouldn't go to the level of muscle contraction. I just want to give the listeners an idea of how strong this piece of equipment is. I'm only at a 4 and it goes to 8. So we're only at 50% of what this little piece of equipment on a 9-volt battery can deliver to you.
It's kind of a massage and an electric charge all in one.
Yeah. And I tell people just to turn it up to a point that's very comfortable for them. Feels like a buzzing sensation, but not to turn it up where it feels like it makes you jump or makes you muscle contract. And we did turn you up a little bit, higher because Scott's fingers are raising up in the air. Involuntarily, it's making his muscles contract. So I just turned it down a little bit for him. But this, you just put it on 10, 15 minutes. It's got a timer on it, so it'll shut itself off when it's done. This is great for low backs. Like I've used this for my low back. My wife's like, oh, do you have a stim machine I can use for my low back or my neck? It's great for necks and low backs if you're just having a little bit of an acute pain, mild strain or sprain or things like that. Only $40 for this little guy. And this little guy packs a punch. Again, we didn't even get Scott to 50% of what this offers, and he's like, stop, right? Different people have different levels of tolerance to electrical stimulation. So some people can tolerate a lot more. I mean, I've got people that come into my clinic and they almost max out my industrial sized machine. So, if you're one of those people like, oh man, I can really tolerate a high pain level. Even this little 9-volt operated machine should give you enough punch to get you to where you need to be a therapeutic value for you.
I was going to say, a lot of us have at home like Theraguns or that kind of device where you need a massage. That, what you just showed me, seems to be a lot more intensive, a lot more more effective.
Yeah, it's great. It's a TENS unit. It's only $40. It's tried and true. We've proven and tested it's a good product for you. Again, it's only $40 for you. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is the Stop Pain. So Stop Pain is, there's another product out there called BioFreeze, and I use that because I used to sell the BioFreeze till I found Stop Pain. And Stop Pain, everybody told me was better than BioFreeze. Like I've tried it on them as a sample, and they're like, yeah, that's much better. It has a higher menthol content, so they feel it makes a much better difference to them. And it comes in different things. It comes in a regular salve that you squeeze on your hand and rub in your body. But I like these other two products because one is a roll-on. And the roll-on is just like a deodorant roll-on. It's got a ball at the top, and you can just roll it onto your skin so you're not gooping up your hands with the salve. And then the other one is a spray. And I'm going to do this one on you, Scott. And this is a spray, and you just kind of spray it on. And you'll feel like after I spray it on, it'll feel like a cooling kind of sensation here. And I like the spray because it kind of gives you a general, it's like putting on sunscreen, right? You're not getting it all over your hands. You can just spray it over a little specific body part. If you want it on your back, you put it on your back, you put it on your arm, put it on your ankle.
It smells good too.
Yeah. It's got a little menthol, and the smell goes away within about a minute or two. So if you don't like the smell, people have different smell tolerances, right? Scott's like, oh, that smells good. But some people are like, oh, that's a really strong smell. The smell goes away within a minute or two. It's not like some of the other salves that last for a half an hour, It dries pretty quickly on the skin, but what it helps to do is helps to decrease pain. Okay, so it's another pain reduction option and it's topical. You're not putting anything in your body. You're not swallowing a pill. It's just a topical, spray, option for pain relief. It's called Stop Pain is what it's called, right? So it's for pain relief. And these products they sell for only $12, so they're very inexpensive as well. And we saw these in both of our clinics also. Okay, so moving right along here. We good on the camera and everything still, Scott?
Yep, looking good.
Okay, so let's talk about the stretch strap. Okay, so I'm going to use you again as a demo model, Scott. We'll come back over. But the stretch straps, these are only $16. And what I like about the stretch straps that we sell is they have incremental loops. So you see there's a loop every, 8 inches or so. So for someone so if you're using it for hamstring stretching versus using it for shoulder stretching, if you're a taller person or a shorter person, you have different incremental loops to loop up, to kind of grip on it, to put it on your foot for hamstring or put it on your ankle. So go ahead and scoot back. Can the viewer see your whole body if you're sitting there like that, Scott? Yeah. Okay. So put this end around your toe, one toe. Yep, that's fine. Okay. And then just grab the other hand with the strap and put your leg out straight so your foot's on the ground. Okay. So this stretch that Scott's doing is stretching out his gastroc muscles. Gastroc soleus is calf muscle. So you're going to pull back and you're going to hold it for about a 15-20 second hold. Remember, when we're doing a stretch, you got to hold it. So he's using a stretch strap to do a stretch for his ankle. Okay, so he can do that. I mean, I love this for his ankle. I love this for hamstrings. If he was lying on his back, he'd be pulling that up in the air, stretching out his hamstrings. You can do it sitting as well if you want to pull that up in the air, Scott. Yeah, with your knee straight, and you feel a little stretch in your hamstrings. Yeah. Okay, we can do it for shoulders. Let me show you the shoulder one. Go ahead and take that off your toe. Okay, so put your right hand up in the air and hold that, and then put your left hand behind your back and grab that there. So for people that are having shoulder issues, okay, so you're going to actually grab right here with your other hand, choke up on it, no, with your right hand, yep, and then put your other hand behind your back again. So what you're doing, there we go. Okay, so what he's doing is he's using his good side, pushing the strap up in the air to stretch out his bad side. The hand behind his back, he's working on that rotation. So when someone has a loss of internal rotation or tightness in their rotator cuff muscles, that helps to stretch out your shoulder. So again, the stretch strap has many different things you can do with it. It's a great piece of equipment. I think it's great for hamstring stretching, calf stretching, shoulder stretching. It's only $16. And these things don't break. I've never had to replace one of these because it's broken, 10 years, 15 years, whatever. I've never had to replace one of these. So it's a very strong piece of material.
And if someone buys one of these, they're able to watch like the videos you send them so they know exactly how to do it.
Yep. So they can
learn at their own pace.
These are part of your video, right? So you'll see a stretch using the stretch strap for your hamstrings, and that's going to be part of your video. So if you want to stretch out your hamstrings, then you buy one of these, and then you can do the home program that we're doing here. All right. The next one is we're getting close to the end here, but we got two more products. Let me show the Physio Ball next.
Yes.
Okay. So the Physio Ball, I brought the big ball so Scott can demonstrate, but you don't have to gift wrap that big ball and put a bow around it. It comes in this nice little box here. So if you're doing Christmas in July and you have this nice little box, wrap it up, some wrapping paper, put a bow around it. Comes with an air pump as well.
Wait, this gigantic ball fits in that box?
That gigantic ball came out of this box. That same exact ball came out of this box. And this Physio Ball, guess what? It's only $16. That's a huge bargain, huge deal. Only $16 for this big ball. Comes with a pump and a lot of different exercises. Okay, go ahead and just sit on the ball first, Scott. So for working on core muscles, Scott's going to sit up tall. And while he sits up tall, he's going to march his feet. So march your legs up and down, left, right. So, okay. So why this works on his core is because he has to maintain his balance while sitting on that ball. To prevent him from falling over, his core has to tighten up to stabilize himself on the ball so he's not falling left to right and falling off the ball. When he lifts one foot up, alternating, he's marching his feet while he's sitting on the ball. He has to work his core muscles to maintain that stability. Another really good one I like to work on is shoulder exercises with this ball. This one's a little bit more challenging, Scott. So you're going to get on your knees behind the ball, and your chest is going to be on the ball. So Scott is on the floor now. The ball's in front of him. His knees are on the floor. His chest is on the ball. And he's going to use both of his arms to bring his hands up like Superman. Okay? So up and down like Superman. Okay? So this is good rotator cuff exercise, thoracic exercise. Up and down. Do like 5 of those. Up and down with your arms. Raise your arms up and down. Yep. Just like that. Perfect. Yep. And then you're going to go out to the side like a T. Not both out like a cross. Make your arms like a cross. Yep. And he's going to go up and down like a cross. Yep. And do repetitions like that. So the Swiss ball is, Scott's flying on the ball. So it's a great exercise to work on shoulder muscles. It's kind of a higher level exercise for people. As he would progress, right now he's on his knees. As he would progress, I would have him straighten out his knees so just his feet were touching and his body was on the ball. So that helps to work the muscles a little bit more as well. So that's the physio ball, Scott. You can go ahead and sit up there. That's great.
I like that.
Okay, and that physio ball is dirt cheap. It's only $16. It comes with its own pump, its own plugs and everything. Just fill it up when you get home. And I think we're on our last product here, which is probably one of our number one selling products, which is our orthotics. Okay, the orthotics are great because number one, they're highly effective. Number two, they're relatively inexpensive. Now, they are the most expensive item that I'm going to talk about today, but comparatively to other orthotics you'll buy in the store, if you go to some of these specialty orthotic stores, these are going to cost you $200 to $300. Our price is only $48. So $48, dirt cheap for a really solid pair of orthotics. And you can see right on here, these are the ones that are recommended by your podiatrist. If you go to a podiatrist, they're going to say, get the Power Step orthotics. And my prices beat anyone in town, promise you. Okay? So as I've talked about before with orthotics, and actually, little surprise lead next month. I have a guest coming in next month, and it's Dr. Harper is going to be coming in from. Dr. Harper is a well-known podiatrist in Beaver. He took over Dr. Bozik's practice, so he's going to be our guest next month. And so, as people know, I like to talk about feet, and we might talk about this a little bit when Dr. Harper comes to the radio station next month in August. But what I really like about the Power Step orthotics is they're full length. Okay. But they're not all rigid. Some orthotics you buy are completely rigid, but this has some flexibility in the toe box where when you walk, you want that toe to bend, right? It's got some cushion in the heel. So when you put weight on that, you got cushion in there. But the deal breaker is this. A lot of orthotics you'll buy like in the box stores, it looks like it has an arch support, but it's not. It's just simply a piece of flimsy fabric. This is not flimsy. It gives you support, but it also gives give. Okay, it has give and support at the same time. That's the magic. That's the magic of these Power Step orthotics. So when you put your weight on it, it helps give you good arch support, and it supports your arch where you want the support. But it's not hard like a rock. It has some motion and mobility to it as well. So it has the mobility, but it has some firmness to it. And it will give you the support that you need for your arches. Most sneakers or shoes that you buy do not have good arch supports built into them. Usually you have to pull out the insole and supplement and put a good orthotic in it. This is a really good orthotic. This is an A-plus orthotic for only $48. I personally have worn the same brand of orthotics because I need orthotics for the last 10 years. And I've been through the custom-made orthotics. I've had custom-made orthotics that cost $200 to $300, $400, and insurance doesn't cover it, So that's out of pocket. These are only $48, and I've been wearing the same brand, and these are as good, if not better, than the custom-made ones that I've had. And so I recommend these orthotics to 95% of my patients. Every once in a while, there's someone that absolutely needs a custom orthotic. If they've had foot ankle surgeries or if they have a foot ankle pathology that an off-the-shelf orthotic is not going to work for, sometimes you need a custom-made one, and that does happen. But most of my patients, they work great with these off-the-shelf ones. I carry all sizes. I carry size 4 all the way up to size 14. So I'll have your size that you need if you want to come down and check out, get some orthotics for your shoes. And people that get these, once they get them, they love them. They usually get a new pair every 6 months to a year, so they last a good long time. Then you can just interchange them between shoes as well. So MRS Physical Therapy, you don't need a script to get any of this stuff. You can just come see us, whether it's for a piece of equipment or you want an evaluation. You don't need a script. We do something called direct access, which means you can come to see us without a script from your doctor. Come to see us at MRS Physical Therapy, which is in Bridgewater, right in the heart of Bridgewater inside Stone Point Landing. That telephone number is 724 728-7550. Or if you want to come check us out in our Cranberry Clinic, that's Cranberry Physical Therapy on Route 19. That's right next to North Park Lounge, and that number is 724-591-8121. You can check out our website at mrsphysicaltherapy.com. It has all this great information there for you. Or if you want to send me an email if you have a specific question, d.reckless@mrsphysicaltherapy.com. If you missed any part of the show and you want to rewatch it, it's saved onto your YouTube site, and it's on our Facebook and your Facebook site as well for about a month before it has to get pushed to another site. So, you're welcome to rewatch any of this. And, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Dale, thank you so much. Always a great time learning a lot and feeling better. So we appreciate it. Look forward to having you next month.
Happy Christmas in July and hoping for cooler weather. Stay cool out there, everybody.
I love it.
Looking for a fun, flexible